I'm a volunteer here at the Friends of Linden Animal Shelter. I've been here as a volunteer since the year 2000.
I've been here for 4 years already. It has flown by.
I volunteer because it's my way of giving back, helping something or someone that can't help themselves, being a voice for the voiceless.
All I can say is I'm glad I'm sitting right now. This is nice to rest my feet. I usually don't get to.
We get there at 7 in the morning, 7:30, like tomorrow. We'll be there at 7:30 in the morning. We walk all the dogs, put them in the outside kennels. We feed them.
And we start the day off by getting all the cats fed, getting any medications given to anyone that might have a cold or any kind of an illness, then start cleaning the cages, get everything ready so that when adoption hours start, hopefully we'll have lots of people coming in to look at them.
Then we have to go and clean all the inside kennels, repaper, new bedding, new bowls of water, and if the weather is bad, we have to bring the dogs back inside. If it's not, they could stay outside until we leave.
And then once we do that, come back out, take them for their second walks, because after they eat, we don't want them messing up their outside cages. So it's a constant. And then now, on Sunday, it's adoption hours from 10 to 2. And everybody comes out on Sundays. I don't know what it is, but especially a nice day.
And then working with people and visitors, talking about the cats and what we do here.
So it's hectic. I really don't sit down the entire time. I don't eat. I don't sit down,
It's a lot of physical work. It's very physical. I mean, sometimes I'm tired and I say, why am I out here at 7 o'clock in the morning in the freezing cold, walking down a broken street with the dog? But then I say, well, if I don't do it, who's going to do it?
We're getting more and more owner surrenders from conditions that normally people would work through in the past. Maybe some financial hardship that they're having a rough spot. But now these people are waiting till the last minute and are in panic mode and either tying them to a fence, a dog, or leaving a cat in a box outside the gates. So people are in a lot more of a panic today than they were, say, a year or two ago.
The slowdown in the housing market has troubling implications not only for people, but also for their pets.
The escalating foreclosure crisis is having a devastating impact on families throughout the U.S. Not only are they losing their homes, many are being forced to abandon their four-legged friends.
For the past 7 years, Edward Jones has had steady construction work. He poured concrete in Lakeview, Oregon. When the economy turned sour, Jones lost his job. Then he lost his $400 a month home.
I couldn't make the rent, just couldn't do it.
Finally, the landlord tossed Jones out on the street, along with his 2 dogs, Snoopy and Sheba. After being evicted, Jones was offered a subsidized room at a local motel, but the dogs weren't allowed. So with tears in his eyes, Jones put Snoopy and Sheba in the back of his truck, drove down to the local Humane Society, and gave his dogs up for adoption.
We wanted to help them the best way we could, which would be taking the animals in and rehoming them. And it was the first time I've actually seen a grown man get teary-eyed. These were members of his family, and it was pretty heart-wrenching for everyone involved to see him have to give these animals up.
Last weekend, I took in 2 cats from a young couple. The husband had lost his job. He worked in the stock market. He lost his job last September. Has not been able to find a new job. She has a job but doesn't make enough to cover the mortgage, so their house is in foreclosure. They're going to be living with family members, and I took the cats.
When I was single and a teenager, I did have 2 dogs. One was a German Shepherd puppy, which my father brought home and grew to be quite large, and my father, well, because we weren't, just the 2 of us, we weren't able to really take care of it well, so the dog was relocated to a farm. where we'd have more room to run, because we were only in an apartment and the dog was way too big for the apartment. So he sent it to somebody he knew that had a farm. It was in the dog's best interest because we just didn't have the room to exercise this dog.
Many apartments at this time do not allow people to have pets, and people have to downsize from a home or maybe a larger apartment. When they're relocating, they're not finding people that are allowing them to have pets.
Years ago, my husband and I, when we first got married, first thing when we got a house, he had to get a dog. And I was not a dog person. I had a cat at the time, and he insisted on getting a dog. I said, all right. Well, I didn't really know anything much about dogs. We proceeded to have 2 children, and we decided that we needed to move from that house, and we had to surrender the dog because we had to move in with his parents while our other house was being built. And I was one of those people that surrendered their dogs. And it bothers me now to think that I could do that, but I had the mentality that a lot of people have, that a pet was disposable, I think, which I believe a lot of people do feel that way, and I am happy to say that I have a completely different, perspective on the whole situation.
I had another family that I worked with starting in December. The man lost his job last summer. He worked for a major plumbing firm and wasn't able to get work at any other smaller company. This company had gone under. I had helped him for several months. Not only did he lose his job, but the stress of the job loss precipitated a divorce and then the house sale. So he had 7 cats and 3 dogs, and he was going to live in an apartment. We helped him find homes for the 7 cats.